You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're now going to be talking on the telephone about how some new research has come out from Norton suggesting that Brits will do pretty much anything on public Wi-Fi, and they're certainly not worrying about their security. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. If you could just introduce yourself firstly, that'd be great.
Hi, I'm Nick Shaw. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of Norton in EMEA.
So does this new research surprise you?
This new research does surprise me. We found that 82% of people act in an unsafe way on open Wi-Fi networks in the Isle of Sheppey and surrounding areas.
So why does it seem people are so reckless when it comes to accessing the internet?
I think the reason is because we live in a society where everybody wants constant connectivity, and people are desiring, faster and faster connection. And they're sometimes worried if they're on a mobile, that they might be using their data and therefore want to use someone else's data because they've probably got restrictions on it. So therefore, they're just looking to consume as much data as possible.
So what are the kind of risks that we're all taking when it comes to putting our passwords or browsing on public Wi-Fi? Because I know, as you said, we're all keen if we get a signal to use it.
So one of the things we're doing in terms of risks is we're doing anything from putting in our passwords into our social media accounts, to putting in credit cards to go shopping, to people doing their mobile banking and stuff. So very variety of risks, but a lot of risks. And what I always say to people is, the thing to think about is, would you be comfortable with what you're doing being displayed on a TV? Now, obviously, if that's something like getting the sports results or looking at the news or something like that, you'd be very comfortable with that. But if it's doing your banking or putting in your credit card details, I'm not sure you'd be comfortable with that.
So how would you know then whether there are prying eyes on the other end of that public Wi-Fi connection that you're using?
One of the challenges is it's very hard to know whether there is prying eyes on there. It's very difficult. It's almost impossible for people to know, and especially for the average man in the street to know this. And that's the challenge people have.
So what kind of tips can you recommend to our listeners to stay safe when using open Wi-Fi?
The first thing I would say is you've got to consider, am I comfortable with what I'm doing being shown on a big TV screen in the cafe or in the airport, wherever I am? And if you're not comfortable with it, I'd suggest you don't do it. Now, if you do really need to do that online banking or something like that, make sure you have an up-to-date security software. Ideally, what's called a VPN product, a virtual private network. And what that does is it puts it into a tunnel, and therefore people can't access that. It's like a hidden pipe that no one can access. And that's the perfect security solution to allow you to actually do the banking and credit card information on these public Wi-Fi safely.
So where can our listeners find out more info?
If you go to www.norton.com, you'll find a lot of information on tips and tricks on staying secure online.
Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us here at BRFM Bridge Radio on the Daniel Monday Night Community Show.